Hello friends, my name is Vas Solo. I'm a recovered drug addict and alcoholic, a practicing yogi, and a certified meditation coach. And the big question is, how can people like you and I, who are in recovery from addiction, who want to be happy, joyous, and free, what are the things that we need to do in order to be successful and to grow into who we are meant to become? That is the big question, and this show will give you the answer. Today's video is about sponsorship. When I first came into the program, I was told to recover, I had to get a sponsor and work the steps. So that's what I did. I found my sponsor the next time I came to a meeting. The way I picked my sponsor was, I saw somebody come in who was a pretty confident, loud, brash individual, and I remember feeling somewhat intimidated by him. Just his energy and his confidence. I was an addict after all, full of anxiety and fears and insecurity. And I remember thinking that this is the guy for me. I'm going to ask that guy to sponsor me because I want what he has. I want to feel that confidence. I want to feel that energy flowing through me. And so when the meeting ended, I asked him to sponsor me, and as they say, the rest is history. He turned out to be a great sponsor, and working with him wasn't always easy. In fact, a lot of the times, he'd have to tell me things that I didn't like to hear. Because in order to recover, I had to face parts of myself that were keeping me sick. And those were the same parts that made me doubt the program, that made me resist the things that he was telling me, that made me afraid to do some of the steps, and that made me reject some of the painful things that he sometimes said to me. And of course, these things were painful because they were hurting my sense of pride or my sense of security. They were destroying some of the things that I had come up in my head that I thought were true, but when I did my step 4 and 5 turned out to be complete figments of my imagination and were in fact the parts of myself that were keeping me in addiction. So what I'm trying to tell you is that doing the work with my sponsor wasn't always fun, wasn't always easy, wasn't always pleasant, but every time that I listened to him and I followed his instructions, it provided me with a new sense of freedom, a new sense of feeling light and connected to my higher power. Because in the end, that is the essence of the program. That is why we work the steps. So often I find people come into the rooms of the 12-step program and they're unwilling to be teachable. They still want to hang on to their old ideas and beliefs. They want to pick the parts of the program that they think will work for them, and they want to push the ones that they're afraid of or that they doubt or that they resist. They want to push those aside. The more you surrender to this process and the more you listen to the people in these rooms who have recovery, the greater your chances are going to be of recovering yourself. Think of the process as, let's say, healing an injury. If we break a leg and we go to the hospital, the doctor has to hurt us to help us. They probably have to set the bone, which is going to hurt, but we know that we need to let the doctor do this in order for us to have that relief. Of course, we want our doctor to be sympathetic to our pain. We don't want the doctor to make us feel guilty about breaking the leg or feel stupid about it. It's nice if the doctor is kind and compassionate and caring, but they still have to hurt you to help you. And in a way, that's what sponsorship is like. Sometimes as a sponsor, I have to tell you the things that you don't necessarily want to hear, but that you need to hear. And often those things are going to be painful to listen to and to accept. But on the other side of that, if you are truly open to being teachable, on the other side of that is recovery and freedom. And the last thought I wanted to share is that ultimately your sponsor's mission or responsibility is to show you how they work the steps so you can do it in a similar way And the goal of that is to help you form a strong connection to God, who ultimately becomes the one who keeps you sober, the one who you turn to when you're feeling lonely or scared, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling hopeless. That is the power that dispels all of those feelings if we use the program to turn to that power and to ask it for help. So that's your sponsor's job, is to help you work the steps so then God becomes your sponsor. And when God becomes your sponsor, the creator of everything in existence, the very breath that's flowing in your body, the intelligence that is in your mind, the love that is in your heart, once you connect and tap into that power, you're never going to want to pick up a drug or a drink again. And you might go through some difficulties in life, but you'll know that you could always turn to that power, and that power will help you overcome those difficulties. And that's the beauty of the program. So if you're thinking about working the steps, go to a meeting, get a sponsor, and do it. Because I promise you, it will change your life. And if you're working the steps, don't give up, and understand that parts of this program are going to be uncomfortable, and you're not going to like them necessarily. But if you see them through and you are sincere about overcoming your issues, the program works, and you will find freedom on the other side. And don't get upset with people in the rooms when you come and you say, look, I feel like crap. My wife is yelling at me at home. My boss is so-and-so, and they tell you, listen, we're not here to listen to your complaints. Okay, that's your addiction talking. The way that you're going to overcome that is by doing the work. Okay, they're going to tell you that not because they don't care, not because they're not compassionate, but because they know that the way to recover is to face those things within yourself, so that you don't have a twisted perception of what's going on. That's how we, as recovered members of the 12-step program, show you our love and compassion. We set aside our own egos as much as we can, and we share with you this message of recovery as best as we can. And that's how we try to help those who are coming into the rooms. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's message, and I'll see you in the next one. Joy to you.